every time you would open the door, it would just hit you in the face, the smell of mold. And it was just absolutely repulsive. Hey everyone, it's PlaneTastebuds here, and today is story time, talking about a situation that no one should ever be in, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. I was once a tenant in an illegal basement apartment. So yeah, it was illegal. Completely off the books, off the records, not paying market rent, and it was not a fun time at all. In fact, I lived in this unit for a little over a year. Meanwhile, my partner lived there a bit longer than I did. Before coming to Canada, I was living in the US and decided to move to Canada for actually love. With that being said, my boyfriend already had a place, so I decided I might as well just give it a try and stay with him, because why not? Now, the thing about this illegal basement apartment, the great part was the rent. The rent was perfectly fine, it was fair, everyone could pay it. However, the rest of the unit itself was not that welcoming. Let's get started. First and foremost, it was a walkout basement apartment, meaning we had our own entry. We didn't have to walk through someone's garage. I've even heard of people walking through living rooms to get to their own units. Yeah, things get a little crazy in Mississauga. Now, our laundry area, laundry was included in our rent for a certain amount of time. It was kind of strange. One day overnight, we just were no longer allowed to use the laundry unit. However, the laundry unit was in an interesting location that I will talk to you about a little bit later on in this fun video. For most units, you have an entry door and then you go down and then you're into the apartment, or you have your separated locations. Everything was kind of jumbled in its own way. For instance, our actual entry to the apartment was only a part of the apartment, and the entryway actually led into our kitchen. Funny enough, the kitchen is actually one of the better parts of this entire unit. It came very well furnished. The only thing that we provided was a microwave, but everything else was there. The only bad side about the kitchen is that the refrigerator had a leak, and so we had to, weirdly enough, place some Tupperware to actually catch what was dropping and just messing up the rest of the refrigerator for us. Next, we go into the actual living area, and there was also where I would do my morning and evening prayers. We were able to put a lot into this very, very small space. So our dining area, we didn't really have much of a dining area. It was enough to sit, honestly, 2 of us at a time. And so we just honestly didn't really typically use it. We'd have it just as kind of like a space for like a spread of the meal, and then we would just take our meals and eat respectively elsewhere. The windows were super duper small. We only have one entrance in. I mean, so that's the thing about when you rent illegally, right? Like, you just kind of get what you get and you don't get upset. Okay, there's only one entrance and one exit. Don't really like that, but it is what it is. Our bedroom area was pretty tight. We weren't able to actually have any of our end tables in the actual bedroom area. All that was able to be stored back there was a bed. Sometimes when we would do laundry and we'd have them air dry, we would set up a laundry rack. However, it was still barely enough space in between that to actually have that to be very successful. The closet space. The closets weren't too terrible. We had one shelf above. There was space for hanging. I mean,
it was okay.
definitely felt a little cramped. I mean, I have a lot of stuff. I didn't realize how much stuff that I personally had up until moving into just a smaller space than what I was used to. So here's the part of the apartment that's just cringe-worthy and upsetting, and it's actually our washroom / shower space. So remember before when I told you that the laundry room had a wonderful, interesting component to it? It's actually the same space where we took our showers. Now, this was by far just the worst experience that anyone could possibly ever think to have. There were moments where the grout just had mold in it. It just was a very unkept area that was uncomfortable to shower in, almost kind of like a close your eyes and do it really quick and then run out kind of thing. I remember showing my mom videos and pictures, and she was just kind of like, where do you live? There was mold in the air, in the grout. It was absolutely just disgusting. Poor ventilation. Every time you would open the door to that washroom area, it would just hit you in the face, the smell of mold. And it was just absolutely repulsive. But it was home for a year and change. The actual washroom area that consisted of a sink and a toilet was an okay size, didn't have much counter space on there at all. So a lot of times we'd have to keep our things out of that area. And as you can see, everything was just kind of like weirdly next to each other, the toilet and the sink. Then you had our main kitchen, living, and bedroom area, and then there was the shower / laundry room area. There would be inconvenient times just because our main area was a passing through space, so at any point in time our landlord would just come on down. There were just no restrictions, so it was very, very uncomfortable at times, and that it just really wasn't fun. So now that you've seen how the space looks entirely with our things in there, here's a video of the same exact space the day that we moved out. Drawbacks and setbacks of living in a illegal apartment space. Boundaries, there are none. Someone could just walk in whenever they really want unless those are set. Lack of privacy, that's something that I feel is just, it doesn't exist. And then lack of rent control because prices can fluctuate at any point in time. So some of the biggest challenges for me with living in this space were really lack of boundaries that I'd experienced from the landlord, lack of privacy, just feeling restricted, completely restricted on the property itself. And coming from my family home in Boston, I was used to like a huge kitchen that I could just sit at the table and I could write, I could talk to my friends, I could do whatever I really wanted to do and not feel that I was being overheard or judged or monitored in any type of way. To now be out of that space is so freeing. I'm so excited and happy, but at the same time I appreciate what being in that space had taught me, because before then I never lived in an illegal apartment or anything close to that. So that particular experience was really necessary because then I could really appreciate where I am now. A lot of times what I would do is honestly just throw myself into creating YouTube videos at that time, or throw myself into my writing or any type of project I can just to stay busy, so that even if I was in that space, I could just kind of like, in a way, escape or just really enjoy my commute from work to my home because I really didn't want to be home. And now I'm in a brand new space, so I'm creating YouTube videos obviously here. Things are much brighter and lighter, and I feel just so at peace completely and just really excited. Thank you so much for watching this video where I talked about living in an illegal apartment. If you have any questions about the video itself, please leave it down in the comment box below. Also, if you want a tour of my brand new space, let me know and I will create a video for that. In fact, I'll create a video for that once this video gets over 3,000 views. Really simple, really small, nothing too wild and crazy. But I felt I should just share my story just in case there were people out there who wondered kind of like how that works, what are you gonna get in this illegal space? And at the end of the day, it's important to know it's completely up to the discretion of your landlord, because if they want, they could be completely ridiculous and just absolutely throw your things out on the street, which is something that has happened to someone that I knew. Thank you so much for watching again. Once again, share this with your friends, your family, whoever you think would actually enjoy this video. Let me know down below what was most shocking for you to see in the tour of the space itself. Alrighty, talk to you guys soon. See you later. Bye.